What's going on, everyone? My name is Where We Don't Care. My name is, and today I'm going to be reviewing Kung Fu Panda 4. Yes, you heard me right. It's been 8 years since the third and supposed final Kung Fu Panda movie. We all thought that was it. They did the same thing with How to Train Your Dragon, with Madagascar. You would think that after you had three very good movies, with all three of them, you know, having a great trilogy, that would have been the end of it, right? But DreamWorks, realizing they don't have anything new to make money off of, decided to go back to the old films that made them a lot of money, and now we have this film. And I gotta be honest with you, I just felt we didn't need a fourth movie, especially with Kung Fu Panda. I mean, my God, we had three perfect films. We didn't really need to see a fourth one, especially how the story really ended the way it did. But here we are, because they're out of ideas, so we need to make a fourth film. And yeah, how exactly did this film go? I mean, the original movies were perfect because they not only catered to both kids and adults, but it was balanced out well with plenty of good jokes, fun action scenes, great character development, and great lessons in each one of these films. So I didn't think that they needed to try making a fourth one because you already had three films that each one did the job they were supposed to. This movie, though, focused more on catering for kids, having a lot of bad, awkward jokes, a lot of, moments that felt you didn't need to have in the movie. It was very predictable. There was little to no character growth, at least for the old characters. The new one, we kind of had some development, but like for the old ones, not so much. And yeah, I feel like there was nothing about this movie that felt new or different. It felt just cash grab, which is what it was. So let me go a little further details about this. There will be some spoilers for this. I'm sorry, but if you're not disappointed to be spoiled, then good. So the plot for the movie has Poe back as, the Dragon Warrior. He's still trying to well, not still trying to. He's pretty much done everything. His story's pretty much over at this point. But he's now told that you now need to find a new Dragon Warrior while he focuses on becoming a spiritual leader. And he doesn't want to do that. But then he ends up meeting a fox thief named Shen, who he ends up teaming up with in order to take on the new villain of the movie, the Chameleon, a foe who I will admit has a pretty cool ability that can absorb the kung fu abilities of past warriors and use them to help her grow in power. So Po and Shen have to go up against her and stop her before she ends up going through with her plans. And that might be like her powers might be the only thing that is actually pretty good with the plot, but everything else is just not that great. So the plot around Poe himself, like I said, his journey had ended. There is no need for him to go through another adventure when he has nothing to learn. He already became a leader in the last film. So him coming back and doing this whatever role they're trying to have him in, it doesn't really work. And passing on the title of Dragon Warrior, that's not a bad idea to have in a story, especially if you have his, friends on the side. Unfortunately, they're not in this. The Furious Five are not in this film. They're not involved in any way, shape, and form, which honestly sucks. And honestly, if we had focused the story on one of them to team up with Shen, this could have worked. But unfortunately, that's not what we ended up getting. The plot is predictable. It doesn't have the same heart, emotional moments we had in the last films. It relies a lot on these awkward jokes and awkward moments that really doesn't work for this film. And you completely forget that we finally got to the final act because everything leading up to it just didn't really, get you excited at all. I, Jack Black as Poe is still amazing. I love him. I think he's still a great voice actor. But like I said, we didn't really need him back in this movie. We really didn't need him back at all. It should have been focused on the other characters. Should have been focused. Maybe have Tigers there. Tigers working with Aquafina's Shen. That would have been great. I do like Aquafina's character. I didn't mind it at all. But I do wish, she worked with someone like Tigers because I felt like the chemistry those two could have would have been better. And like I said, Awkwafina did fine here. I didn't really have an issue with this, although her character is basically the same as pretty much any other film she's been in. Viola Davis as the chameleon. Like I said, I did like her ability. I thought it was pretty cool, but I did wish that her motivations were different. I wish she had teamed up with actually Poe's old enemies. That way, they all work together to try to destroy him. I feel like that would have been a great story. It would have actually helped Poe a little bit, realizing he can't stop them all on his own like he did before, and so he's gonna need some help. So I feel like that's something they could have done with the story, but they didn't. The rest of the cast were fine, but really not that memorable. They were kind of forgettable. I mean, the only ones I could think of that were memorable were the little kid bunnies, but that's about it. The animation still beautiful. I don't have any issue with it. I did like some of the fights. I thought it was not bad. Music's not bad either, but the awkward jokes, the awkward moments in this film, and the whole thing being predictable and being boring, and it's just like there's nothing for you to be invested in. I'm sorry to say, this movie to me was a huge disappointment. If they're hoping to do more of these films from the successful ones that they've had, I say stop now because this was not worth the watch. I mean, if you want to see this with your kids, fine, but I do not recommend it. I don't recommend it seeing with your loved ones or your friends. This is not a film worth watching, guys. I recommend checking out the three original films because this one is a huge disappointment. And it's one movie you're not going to remember by the end of the day. So that's pretty much it, guys. You have a different opinion about this film. What do you think of the last three Kung Fu Panda movies? I apologize for that. Leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit my subscribe button, check my face page, check my mature page, check out T3 Media's channel, subscribe to the channel, can't play with videos, and I'll see you next time. Give you more love and entertainment. Until then, take care, be safe, let go, and goodbye.